Welcome to the Electric Power Summit 2025. Amazing to be here. Amazing to see so many of you here. Friends, colleagues from so many years, new faces. Look, this year's edition of the Power Summit, we called it Power Play. And I want to try to explain you why. Earlier this year, I went to Ukraine to see what life is like over there for the colleagues who fight literally day and night to keep on the lights. And it was a humbling experience. I went to a power plant in the southwestern part of the country. And literally at the moment where I arrive, the airstrike alarm goes off. MiG-35 fighters with Kinzhal missiles had taken off from an airbase somewhere in Russia, possibly headed towards this plant. As we rushed towards the bomb shelter, we passed by a convoy of pickup trucks, roof-mounted air defense guns, soldiers inside, camouflage uniforms, stern looks. Just another day on the job. So we huddle in the bomb shelter together with the rest of the staff until the alarm is called off and we can go and tour the site with the manager, Vadim. So this site had suffered 14 direct hits in the last 3 years. The last one month before we arrived. The destruction, incredible. Across the plant, windows, walls blown out by explosions, replaced with plywood, even in the director's office. You wouldn't believe that. In the turbine hall, the roof had collapsed. There was a direct view to the blue sky above us. The turbines literally melted down from a direct hit. Incredible destruction. Outside, transmission pylons bent, grotesque shapes, explosions. So meeting the people there that work there every day is humbling. There was this quiet, persistent determination in the way they went about restoring the plant, trying to protect it against new attacks, sweeping rubbles off the floor, welding, fixing pipes and pillars, trying to come up with all kinds of MacGyver solutions. Okay, if we put a net over here, maybe we can stop the Iranian drones from coming in. What about this wall? How thick do we need to rebuild it so it withstands the next blast wave? The courage. Vadim, the plant manager, told me that when there's a direct attack on the plant, when the bombs are literally raining from the sky, the management does not go to the bomb shelter. They go to the control room to provide moral support for the staff on duty and to take quick operational decisions if needed. That is leadership. That is courage. The world has changed at warp speed in the last few years. 5 years ago, we set out the vision of the electric decade. 10 years of turbocharged transformation to turn the tide on the climate crisis and drag our economies out of the COVID slump. 10 years to electrify Europe. 10 years to change the game. This year, we're halfway through. And yes, there's been progress. Yes, we're moving forward. But who would have thought that those roaring electric 20s would turn into a decade of disruption, where energy is weaponized, where old alliances falling like dominoes, where major economies are walking away from climate action, and where democracy is under threat. Who would have thought? Here we are, in a tug of war, a struggle over power and global dominance. In this new world, ladies and gentlemen, Europe needs to defend itself, to power itself, to compete. And what this means is that our mission to electrify Europe is as important, as valid, and as urgent as ever before. Electricity is not just an energy carrier. It's not just another economic sector. It is the backbone of our resilience in a changing world. It is the quiet force that underpins, protects our way of life. In this new world, ladies and gentlemen, electricity is sovereignty, is security, is survival. So what Europe needs, literally, is a power play, a bold thrust to reignite our economy and unlock a new era of industrial growth. Not with yesterday's fuels, not by Trump's or Putin's rules, but with unstoppable electricity made right here on a continent that fights for freedom, for democracy, and planetary stewardship. The next 5 years could decide the next 50. So it's time to deliver on the promises of the electric decade, to show that electricity is not just the clean choice, it is the reliable choice, it is the affordable choice, it is the winning choice. It's time to show that Europe has the power to play and the will to win. So let's play, ladies and gentlemen. And let's play with the courage, with the persistence, and with the determination that Vadim and his colleagues in Ukraine show every day when they turn up for work. Thank you and welcome.